What's going on YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, OMG, which has just been doing amazing, and Link. That's what I have time to get into today. And we're going to talk about how basically, guys, you have to realize in this market, this is a probability game. What you're trying to do is put the odds in your favor. No one has a crystal ball. No one knows exactly how hard these things are going to pump or dump. And that's why we look at technical analysis. We're going to look at that price action because that's going to tell you the buying or selling pressure. And that's going to give you so much more. Price action is the king of the chart, in my opinion. And I really like to pay attention to trends as well. So we're going to get into all this, guys. If you get something from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to be looking at this on the 12-hour time frame. I just want a different look for y'all. So let's dig into this. First of all, what we're going to do, we're going to start from the outside and we're going to work our way in. Number one, main thing we need to stay up above is this purple trend line that I have right here. We want to continue to ride this purple uptrend. That's number one. Number two, what we're forming up here is basically a rising wedge or almost like a rising channel. And what you'll notice typically when we're in uptrends, just like back in here, you'll get a lot of these rising channels or rising wedges. And traditionally, when you're looking at the encyclopedia chart patterns, more often than not, rising wedges or channels, they'll break to the downside. But in cryptocurrency, a lot of the times, it seems like when we are in an uptrend and we get one of these rising wedges or channels, it's almost the opposite. It seems like we break more to the upside than we do the downside out of these. We'll get these long extensions that move to the upside. And that's kind of what we're paying attention to right now. As we're at the bottom of this channel here, a rising wedge, we want to find support right off this area. And that's going to be my green line here at 11,572. Pay very close attention to that as support. Also, with this 12-hour time frame that we're looking at, a lot of times when we get retracements, it'll be back down to this 60 moving average in green. Many times we'll hit that. So if we do go back to that, that'd put us back around 11,258, and that'd be the area we want to hold as well. Now, in terms of overhead resistance, we need to get up above 12,530 is going to be that previous overhead resistance. And that'll also be the top of this rising wedge or rising channel right up in that range here. If we get out through that, I believe we'll test $14,000 extremely quickly. And what you can tell here on the 12-hour time frame, really looking at this, since Bitcoin's a 24-hour market, it's nice to look at the 12 sometimes. Our stock is in that oversold territory. We're at 6 and 7 right now. So this would be a great spot for us to defend and really get a strong move to the upside out of here. That's what I'm going to be looking at here. But mostly, guys, really watch those areas that I've talked about. If we look at our technicals, we have a 7 sell, 10 neutral, and 11 buy. So that's where we're just patiently waiting in this area. Oscillators, 2 sell, 9 neutral, and a 0 buy. Not financial advice, but if you're a long-term holder or whatnot, this is where you just want to continue to stay in that position and let it ride. You know, maybe we could go all the way back to $10,500 and see if we can turn that into strong support. But that's the name of the game, guys. This market needs to take big, deep breaths. Okay, so that's going to be Bitcoin. Next one we're going to get into is Ethereum. And ETH is still holding over $400, which I like to see. But there are some critical areas that we have lost now, and I want you to be aware of that. Okay, so number one, we like to pay a lot of attention to wicks. Typically, if they're over 5%, we'll get a nice little retracement there. This one's about 3.89. Okay, so that's something that I do want to keep my eye on because that also came behind tweezer bottoms there with some heavier volume selling pressure, okay? But now what we're trying to do is find support off this 30 EMA in purple. You can see the wicks trying to defend it, and this would be the area where we need a bounce. This would be nice here as well because our stock's so oversold right now. We're at that 6 and 7 right now. So basically we're ready for that next move to the upside here. And typically, just like we had these tweezer bottoms with a stock cross, that can get you a nice little pump to the upside. So now we're trying to see if we can find this as support, and that's going to be at around $404. We'll just say $400 psychologically. We want to hold a support. If we drop below that, I'm going to be looking down roughly to around $378 as an area of support. Now, in terms of overhead resistance, if this is the area where we can find some support, I'm going to be looking at getting over top of $417. Then we'd go up and we try to get over top of that $439. And like I said, not financial advice, but this is the time. You know, you're a longer term investor. You want to sit in those positions and just really let them ride out. Shorter term traders like myself, swing traders, we were selling out in this area with longer wicks. For me, guys, I want to be able to do those 20 to 25% swings. I want to play that, and then once they retrace, I want to try to accumulate more because this market always needs to breathe. That's something that we have to be aware of. Okay, so don't get too crazy. You know, when something's going straight up, don't ever be afraid to take some profit. And what I like to do is ladder out of things. So say I have, we'll just look at it in percentage terms, 100%. of my money's in Ethereum or whatnot. As Ethereum goes up and it hits some price points, you sell off 25%. And then if it pushes up even higher, you sell off another 25%. And then if it pushes up even higher and things get extremely crazy and the RSI is basically at 100, you sell out another 25%. So you've sold 75%, making a profit as you go up. And then you keep that last 25% in case anything crazy happens. And some huge whale puts some money into your coin, then you at least have 25% if it gets outrageous. And that's the way I like to do it. And I also like to ladder into positions in the cryptocurrency space. With all the volatility, I think that's the best way to do it. Ladder in and ladder out of positions. It can really help you. So that's going to be Ethereum, guys. Next, we're going to get into Litecoin. Take a look at this. Litecoin's at $61.21 right now. And what we're trying to do here is find support off this 30 moving average, this 30 EMA. We have a doji candle that's forming. We have not had the close for the day yet, so we need to be aware of that. Stock is in oversold conditions, 8 and 18, but we have not had that stock cross to the upside. We would want that with heavy volume, with a bullish candlestick pattern up here to try to get up over top of 62.81. Then it's going to be around 63.75. Then we try to get back over top of 67.40 is what we're going to be looking at. But you can see with Litecoin here, guys, we've basically had a really nice trend. We've been setting those higher highs and higher lows. So this is where we're looking to have a higher low be set for Litecoin so we can potentially get that next move to the upside and challenge some of these levels. Doesn't have to happen, but that's what we're looking at here. Same deal. Typically when we get retracements, we can get them back all the way to that 60. If we do go back to that area, that's going to be around 56.77 would be the area there that we look to see if we can get a bounce off, just like we had the tweezers to last time. If we look at Litecoin for technicals, we have a 6 sell 10 neutral, 12 buy oscillators, 2 sell 9 neutral, and a 0 buy there. So we're going to have to see if we get that volume to step in, see if Litecoin can get that next move to the upside there, guys. So that's going to be Litecoin. Next, we're going to go to the champion of the day here. This has been Omise Go. Been doing awesome here. I mean, this is a straight up shot, guys. And you can see there's a long wick, a lot of profit taken. I took my profit yesterday. We were talking about as well. A lot of other people taking profits, but this has just been an amazing move. And this is what happens when money really comes into this space. It comes in hard. It comes in fast. These moves are straight up. So you kind of have to be in the coin. And that's why when we're in uptrends, you really want to hold on to them unless you're swing trading or day trading the cryptocurrency space. But, guys, this is what it's all about right here. OMG, 252%. This is a coin that I love. I think it's one that's going to do really well. As Ethereum pumps, typically OMG and some of these other coins can get crazy as well. Yesterday, we were looking at overhead resistance of around that $8. We ended up hitting it. The next area we'd look at is about $8.62, and then it'd be up to around $11.44 up in that range. But, guys, this is how fast it happens. It takes years to shake this all the way out, and then we can have these just explosive moves, and you can see that volume starting to come back in. Last time, Omise Go got up to around $28, so that is something that's very impressive there. If we take a look at our RSI on the 12-hour, just want to take a look how overbought we are. We're up at 94.95, so I'm sure there's going to be guys taking some profits here coming up. But overall, this is just an amazing move. If we do start to get some nice retracement, I'd look back. Truly, guys, we could have a pretty mean dump back into the $6 range, even back into the $4.11 range if this sell-off is pretty aggressive to cool off the RSI, maybe back down to the 70 or 60 range, which I think would be healthy for it. But this is an explosive move for OMG. I'm one of those guys, long-term investor in OMG, just got some that are dusted off in the corner as well. I like to trade it short term. I'm out of that position. But OMG, this one I just kind of want to hold on to for the longer term is what I'm thinking about with that as well. Try to ride out this next market cycle. So, guys, that's going to be OMG. You like me covering that? Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll get in the link. Link's at $14 here. So we've been really having that nice retracement that we were looking at, guys. This is something we paid a lot of attention to, these wicks up here. I hope people kind of took my advice on that and started selling some positions up around the $20 mark. That was an explosive move. Just so much volume coming into that. But now we're getting a nice, healthy retracement. And the area that I'd look that we found support many times is right back to this 60 with these wicks here. So that would put us back around $12.70. Wouldn't mind having some buy orders in that area, you know, even slowly start laddering in right around that spot. And then if it continues to drop down, I'd look around $10, and then it'd be down to around that $8.92. RSI is back around 43 on the 12 hours, so that is a good thing, starting to cool down, calm down a little bit, but we are below our 15 and our 30 moving average right now, so just pay attention to that. Overall technicals, we have a 7 sell, 10 neutral, 10 buy, or 11 buy, excuse me. Oscillators, 1 sell, 9 neutral, and a 1 buy is what we're looking at there. But this has been a great move out of Link. I'm glad to see where we're retracing. We're just going to have to see where we find that nice higher low in this overall sense here so that we can start making a strong move back up to the upside there. So guys, God bless each and every one of you. Take care, my friend.